Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David and in this video I'm going to show you how to play the small card game Survive the Serengeti. All players will start with 12 wildebeests. Each round you will play one or two of them, but also each round there will enter a new predator who will try to eat those wildebeests, and it's up to you to save as many of your animals as possible. So please let me show you how it's played. There are three types of cards in the box. For each player there's a deck of wildebeests going from number 1 to number 12. All wildebeests you have are either female or male. Some of them have the sun symbol and some of them have the moon symbol, and this is important for end of game scoring. And each player will simply receive one deck of 12 cards, so in this case with 3 players we all start with number 1 to 12 wildebeest. Then there's the game start and end of game scoring cards. There are multiple, you'll randomly pick one and that will be the card for this game. So in this case, when starting with this card, this will tell you what is the starting predator of the game. Each round we will have a new predator on the scene. No matter what card you have, all cards will score you 1 point at the end of the game for each card in your biggest herd. And you'll have a herd when you have 2 or more consecutive numbers, so 5, 6, 7, 8 or either 1, 2, 3. Also during the round, when multiple players are playing the same number, those numbers together are called a herd, or if you have 2 of them together it's a pair. Important to know. But also this card tells you where to get your extra points at the end of the game. So in this case you will score 2 points for each wildebeest you have saved, with the value being less than 3 or higher than 10. So numbers 1, 2 or 11, 12. And also at the end of the game you will score 2 points if you saved 1 wildebeest with a sun. If you have 2 suns you will score 3 points, and even 4 points if you saved 3 wildebeest with a sun symbol on it. And there are all kinds of scoring opportunities. In this case, if you saved more males than females you will score 3 points. And if you saved both a sun and the moon symbol you will score 1 point or 3 points if you saved 2 of each. So multiple scoring cards, and only one will be used in each game. In this game, starting predator is coalition. So you go through the deck and then you find the coalition. This predator will enter the game at the start. And it says all cards that are not part of a herd are discarded. So this is now the active predator. Then we're going to play our turn, and that is simply playing one card, and you'll try to play a card that will survive this round. However, all cards that are not part of a herd are discarded. So let's say we play a number that is somewhere in between. Just for an example, I'll shuffle this deck just for the other player that will play this card, and you'll play the card face down in front of you until all players have chosen their card. When all cards are played, we will flip them face up and we'll put them together if possible. And look, here we have indeed a herd, number 6 and number 7. But this is a number 2, so this one is not part of this herd and it will stay single. If you have 4 or 5 players, it's possible to have multiple herds. Maybe if with 4 players a number 3 would be played, then we would have a herd of 2 and 3 and a herd of 6 or 7. Now that all cards are placed, we're going to check for the predator. It says all cards that are not part of a herd are discarded, meaning this player loses his wildebeest, it gets discarded. But it also means these wildebeests survive, so my number 6 is safe and his number 7 is safe. So this one goes to my scoring area. This one was discarded. This predator has eaten, so it's fed and it will move away. So now a new predator enters the scene. It's the leopard. The highest value card that is not part of a herd is discarded. So only the highest card that is not part of a herd. Again, we're going to play one card. So since the highest value will be removed, I think it's a good idea not to play a very high number. We've already saved number 6, so maybe we'll try to get to number 5. So at least we can score a herd at the end of the game. So I'll place this one. Also this player plays one card. The player that lost his wildebeest in the previous round will now play 2 cards in the next round as a little bonus. So in this case, that player might want to say, I'm gonna play my highest numbers and I'm gonna play them together. So this player knows for sure this will become a herd and none of those cards will be eaten. Again, we're gonna flip all the cards. And wow, this is really lucky. We have number 11 and 12, but also number 5 and 6. So we're gonna check the predator. The highest value card that is not part of a herd is discarded. However, there are only herds in this round, so no card gets eaten. All cards return to their owners. So this player scores the number 11 and 12. The number 6 goes to this player and I'll get returned my number 5. So now I've already scored a 5 and a 6. And also I already scored 1 sun, so that will give me at least 2 bonus points at the end of the game. However, since this predator has not eaten, it is still hungry, so it will remain in the line of predators. But we will still reveal a new predator because it's a new round, in this case the lion. The highest card or cards that are played are discarded. So it doesn't matter if they're part of a herd this time, the highest cards that are played are discarded. So I'm gonna play my number 1 just to be sure. We'll see what the other players will play. We open up the cards. No card was eaten the previous round, so all players simply play 1 card. This is also funny, because here we have a pair of number 1s, so it's a herd, also called a pair, and we have 1 single card. But now back to the predators. We'll start with the predator that is the longest in the game, because that one is the most hungry. So we'll handle them in order. This means the highest value card that is not part of a herd is discarded. So in this case, this number 5 is not part of a herd, so it gets eaten by the predator. And now the predator leaves the game. But we still have the lion. The highest card or cards played are discarded. Well, these are the 2 highest cards at the moment, both number 1. So also these 2 get eaten. Unfortunately, no one scores a card, saves a wildebeest this round. So we're up to the next round. And for this round, we got the pride. The highest and lowest cards played are discarded, no matter if they're part of a herd or not. All players have lost their wildebeest, so all players can play 2 cards. Well, all players play 2 cards. We'll flip them over and we'll check to see which cards are eaten or which cards are saved. And so play continues until the last player has played his last card. And nearing the end of the game, some players might already have played their last card and other players still have some cards left, because maybe that player had lost more cards, so he had more rounds where he played 2 cards. But then the game continues without those players until all players have played all their cards. And once all cards are played, you're gonna put the cards you have saved in front of you. Then first you're gonna check what is your biggest herd. In this case I have 3 cards, 5, 6, 7. So I score 3 points. You only score your highest herd. Then we're going to check the end game conditions. In this case I would score 2 points for each wildebeest lower than 3 or higher than 10. So I get to score 2 points for each wildebeest either value 1 or 2 or value 11, 12. And I'm going to check in this case how many suns are on my cards. I have 2 times the sun, so I score 3 extra points. And then whoever has the most points is of course the winner. In case there's a tie, then the player who has the biggest herd is the winner. And if that's still tied, you will share the victory or play another game, because it plays really fast and fun. When you're playing your card, by the way, you play it in secret, but you're allowed to talk about your card. So any amount of talking and negotiation is allowed and even encouraged by the rules, to have your opponents play something that also is of use for you. And of course this game is a little bit more fun when you're playing with more players, because then you have bigger chance of forming herds. When playing with 2 players, you will add a 3rd neutral player. So when playing with 2 players, you will pick one deck of a color that's not used. From that deck you will remove cards number 1, 2, 3 and 10, 11, 12. Then you'll shuffle the numbers 4 up to 9. And the highest and lowest numbers you will shuffle and put them on top of the deck. And then you're gonna play a normal turn. Simply choose 1 card or 2 if your wildebeest was eaten in the previous round, but you will also add 1 card from the neutral player. And also if the card of the neutral player was eaten in the previous round, the neutral player will play 2 cards. And so you keep playing as normal, and also the neutral player will score his or her points at the end of the game. But you do have the knowledge that the first 6 cards are either very high or very low. And also, if you remember the 5 cards the neutral player has played, you'll know what the 6th card will be. Because it's either 1, 2, 3 or 10, 11, 12. But that is how you play a game of Survive the Serengeti. Each player has 12 wildebeests. You will play 1 card each round, or 2 if you've got eaten the previous round. Each round a new predator arrives that will try to eat one of the wildebeest. If it gets to eat a wildebeest, that card is discarded, but also the predator goes away, and then we review a new predator. Are all wildebeests saved? Then the predator will not eat, but it will wait to the next round and try again, but also adding a second predator to the scene. And so at the end of the game you will always score 1 point for each card in your biggest herd, and the other points you can score are determined by this season card. You will use 1 card each game. Thanks to Handmar Game for having me this review copy. If you have any questions about this game, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. My name is David, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.